A lot of us get involved because we see a possibility of change. A lot of us get involved because we think that we can make this campus better. And I think it's a genuine mindset of thinking, and I think it's something that we all aim to achieve for. A lot of my personal experience has to do with the fact that I'm a president of the student union. And in that role, I've had so many people say that you're in that role just to serve Muslims, right? But I think what I try to say to people is, what you need to understand is that I'm not here to serve Muslims, I'm here to serve students. And part of what my religion tells me to do is to do just that, is to give out to different people and different communities. So yeah, I've had people personally come to me and say, you know what, he's a Muslim president, you know? I've heard people say, you know, he's a Muslim president, you know, he's for an MSA agenda, you know, all these things, like, you know, he wants to promote and extend the prayer hall, you know, he wants to give special rights to Muslims. The truth is, there's really no truth behind that, because I serve everyone.
Another thing is you have to be able to mingle in different groups. You can't just, you know, have your own clique that is only Muslims and just, you know, just stay with them. You have to meet with other people to eliminate these stereotypes too. So I think that's another problem.
I said, okay, what happens if this person was with this idea or and being in Afghanistan? So everybody will be shocked. What if you see half half a person who, let's say women, with tight shirts and not wearing a long pant in Afghanistan? People will be like, ooh. So they will be shocked. They will say something is wrong in here, in this land. So that's why I said that I give this kind of a space for them. I want them. I'm trying to be as open to people around me, my classmates, my teachers, as possible.
Everyone has their own ideas of what Islam brings to their life, and I think the problem is these days that they think it's one thing and one thing only, not knowing that, you know, people practice religion in their own ways. So yeah, I sometimes do feel like that I'm judged within my own religion.
Bus drivers are the best example. Yeah, if you go there and they just treat you like you're not a human. Some of them, I'm not saying all of them, but there's some of them that are so ignorant that makes you pissed off. But I understand, I told you again, you have to give them that kind of, you should also ignore that ignorance, otherwise the two will conflict, and then I will not drive the bus and he will be driving alone.
There was that funding issue early on in the year where we funded the MSA for their iftars. The condition that we put on them was that you would have to leave those iftars open to the public, so anybody can come and eat food, right? Because we're going to fund you, and we understand that's a need that's important for Muslim students on this campus, but at the same time, we're funding everyone. So it's important that you be open to that, and you allow people to come and take part in that, which they did, and I was there for a few of those, and I remember that other people were, and then that conversation started, you know, what's this all about, you know, why are you guys fasting, you know, what's going on, and things like that. So it's good to see those kind of things happen, but I did get a lot of backlash, and I know you know that as well, for that funding.
It's almost like you're not really accepted anywhere. Being a Muslim, being, you know, going back with the cultural thing, being South Asian, you're never going to be a part of the society here. No one will see you like that. They will, you know, you'll always be grouped with someone else. You can never be, let's say, just a Canadian, be like a normal person living in this society. And I think that's a huge issue as well, that we are Muslims, but we're just like you. We go to the movies sometimes. We go and, you know, watch, or like, you know, we know how to have a good time too, and we are also devoted to our religion. I think that's what scares me the most, is just the way people see Muslims, and they just all of a sudden have like some assumptions about them.
I've had faculty tell me that students say that they see me just as Zuhair, the Muslim guy. I've had staff tell me that unfortunately the perception out there is that you're just a Muslim guy. But the way I look at it is that, you know, where's my PR? You know, where am I going out to students saying, no, I am the Muslim guy because that's my religion, that's my way of life, but I'm Zuhair, the president who's here to serve you. I really like this interview because I think this interview is needed. You know, I remember when I was offered to do the interview, you know, at first I was kind of pessimistic. Not pessimistic, I was just cautious, you know, about the interview. I'm like, you know what, this could, you know, potentially cause people to look at it in a different way. But then I realized, I'm like, you know what, we need things like this. If we don't have things like this on our campus, then how are people ever going to be educated about what Islam really is? You know what I mean? So
I like this interview. I think it's good.
Honestly, it made me feel better because I never get the chance to say anything. It kind of took a whole load off my chest. Yeah.
But I'm saying like I loved it. It was very enjoyable and beautiful time that I had. I wasn't expecting that. It was just a good surprise for Friday for me.
I would like for people to be more open-minded towards Islam and Muslims. You know, as much as I'm opposed to covering myself, don't judge a person by the fact that they're covering themselves. Don't judge a guy because he's got a long beard. I mean, there's rock stars that have long beards, so why is that not cool?
You should not judge the religion of Islam by the Muslims who practice it. Definitely. I mean, you should judge Islam by its own merits. Go and research the religion, see what it says. Don't judge it by how the people choose to practice it. It's one of those books that is up to interpretation. Someone can, take a passage and interpret it in one way, and the other person can totally come up with some other off-the-cuff interpretation.
They're trying to increase the gap between a non-Muslim and a Muslim. And that's what I'm against. And that's something I wanted to do in my entire 4 years in university, trying to close this gap. Unfortunately, I wasn't able. Like, it's hard for us to close the gap totally, but it's possible to close it a little bit, to bring these two groups together, to share their thoughts and belief. I think this is one of the unfairness that I have faced in the West.